Good morning, my lovelies, and welcome to a very strange Monday morning weather-wise. It's cloudy, it's spitting, the sun's trying to make an appearance, and we have a slight breeze, and on top of all that it's quite warm. So it's a bit of a funny old morning this morning. So, as you will already know, the UK has lost a very important person. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II passed away last Thursday at the age of 96. A woman who devoted all of her reign to the service for this country. She was a hard-working member of the Royals, and God bless her, she always kept her own counsel. But the reason why I'm doing this is because for all the 52 years that I've been on this planet, she's always been there. She's always been the Queen sat on the throne. I've watched her children grow up, I've watched them get married, I've watched them have children of their own, and I've watched, sadly, some of them get divorced. And she's sort of become part of our family, part of everybody's family. Even though we've never met her, we don't go around her house for tea, we don't do holidays with her, but she feels like she's part of our family. As she's got older, and especially the last week, she got quite old and quite frail, and there's a very famous picture that went up on Facebook of her when she went to meet, when the new Prime Minister came to meet the Queen. And she just reminded me of my mum. You know, the way she stood and the way she dressed, she just reminded me of my mum. And Gemma, my daughter, said, "Oh look, it's Nana." When she passed on Thursday, there was a sense of grief. Yes, it was a shock, but we were all sort of expecting it, because at 96 you don't live forever. And it was a bit of a shock. And it felt, for me anyway, it felt for me like I was reliving my mum all over again. When my mum passed 5 years ago, I had that sense of sadness, that sense of shock, and that sense of being lost. Even though we know Charles was going to be the king, you know, it was like, well, who's going to take her place? Some people it may not have affected, other people it has quite deeply. We've all experienced grief at some point of our life, whether that be a parent, a grandparent, a sibling, a friend, a husband or wife. We've all experienced it. And on the whole, it's brought the country together in grief. When my own mum died, I struggled for quite a bit with it. Even though I put on a brave face and went back to work and all that, I did struggle quite a bit with it, and I kept expecting to see her looking out the bedroom window as I walked down the street, or I kept expecting to see her in town pushing a little trolley around. But of course it never happens, because you know in your head they've gone, but in your heart you wish they were still here. My paganism at the time took a back seat. I think for 12 and a half months after Mum went, I didn't really dabble much into it. I struggled. But as I slowly got back into it, I think my paganism helped. It helped me deal with losing Mum. And I suppose for many people, with whatever religion they choose to follow, that helps them as well in their own grief. I know we all have different ways of dealing with grief. Some people deal with it better than others, and I know some people, you know, use their religious beliefs to deal with grief, i.e. when that person dies they go to heaven, or their religious version to heaven. For me, I don't think Mum's gone to heaven. I think Mum is walking with us. She's walking beside us with the rest of them, with all the other members of the family that have passed. She's walking with us, guiding us, making sure we're okay. And I hope that is the case for our Queen. Her family may believe that she's gone to heaven. Maybe they believe that she walks with them, but in whatever realm of religion they decide to believe in and take comfort from, it is a comfort, to be honest with you. It is a comfort to know that, to think that they may have gone somewhere else and they're not feeling any more pain and they're not tired anymore and they're happy. So if you're struggling with the loss of a loved one, or maybe you're struggling with the death of our Queen, take comfort in whatever belief you have or whatever religious following you take. That wherever she may be, she's happy, she's safe, and she's not tired anymore. Same with our relatives. When they left, they're happy, they're safe, and they're not tired anymore. So I'm going to send some prayers and some good healing vibrations to Charles and the rest of the royal family, because I know it's a great loss. It is a great loss, and he's lucky to still have his mum. You know, well, she was in her 90s. He's very lucky. So I may light a candle this afternoon and send some healing prayers to the royal family. So lovelies, we're going to go home for a cup of tea and a potter about, and please look after yourselves, lovelies. If you're struggling with anything, please speak to somebody. There's always somebody out there that will help you. Look after one another. If nothing else in this world, please be kind, because you don't know what that person's going through that stood next to you. And as always, I'm sending you all much love and many blessings.